Remote pilots of the FPV drones from the 414th Separate Brigade of Unmanned Aerial Systems Magyar's birds showed how they damaged the enemy's automotive and armored equipment. The video was released by the commander of the Magyar Brigade. The first destroyed convoy consisted of an MTLB tracked tractor, an armored personnel carrier, a GAZ-66 Shishiga truck, and a UAZ off-road vehicle. In addition, 2 units of previously destroyed vehicles and a visually intact UAZ Bukanka van can be seen in the video. First, the FPV drones targeted the head of the convoy, destroying an off-road vehicle, followed by the destruction of enemy MTLBs and APCs. The final target in the convoy was a Shishiga truck loaded with enemy ammunition. The second convoy, which was mechanized, consisted of a BMP-2 and a tank. A Magyar's Birds reconnaissance drone captured footage of the tank's mechanic driver ramming an electric pole and colliding with the IFV's barrel while it was in motion. After the first hit to the tank, the combat vehicle continued to move, while the IFV crew stopped, left the armored vehicle, and hid in a forested area. Finally, the tank was destroyed, and the BMP-2 was damaged, but later finished off by a heavy bomber drone. The third destroyed convoy consisted of 2 infantry fighting vehicles. The brigadier also showed the destruction of an enemy tank, which was abandoned by the crew after several hits, and subsequently finished off by drones. Additionally, the brigade's FPV drone operators destroyed 1 tank, 1 MTLB, 1 BMP-1, several guns howitzers, hit an MRAP armored vehicle that exploded in a minefield during the retreat, and 1 improvised buggy. Meanwhile, Russia and North Korea may have lost around 400 troops in a single attempt to capture the village of Makhnovka in western Russia's Kursk Oblast last week. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky relayed the news from General Oleksandr Syrsky, the Ukrainian commander-in-chief, on Saturday. In battles today and yesterday near just one village, Makhnovka, in the Kursk region, the Russian army lost up to a battalion of infantry, including North Korean soldiers and Russian paratroopers, Zelensky claimed. Makhnovka, which lies in the no-man's land on the eastern edge of the 250-square-mile salient Ukrainian troops carved out of Kursk in August, has been the scene of fierce fighting for days. Videos circulating on social media depict Russian and North Korean troops marching into the village and coming under attack by Ukrainian infantry, tanks, and drones. Analyst Andrew Perpetua, who scrutinizes social media to tally Russian and Ukrainian losses, seemed to confirm the Russian casualties Zelensky referred to. "I feel like I just watched a whole Russian battalion die in a single video," Perpetua noted on Monday. He claimed he visually confirmed 408 casualties in one day. The 4-mile stretch of the front line between Makhnovka in the north and Plekhov in the south isn't the most intensive sector in Kursk. Clashes have been less frequent around Makhnovka than they've been around, say, Zeleny Shilak on the western side of the salient. But it's possible the individual fights in Makhnovka and Plekhov have been bloodier. Attacking in 3 waves across open fields outside the Plekhov, more than 500 North Korean infantry eventually managed to eject the 100 Ukrainian troops holding the village. But marching without much support across snowy fields, the North Koreans were easy targets for the retreating Ukrainians' drones and artillery. North Korean losses, killed and wounded, may have accounted for more than half the attacking force, Ukrainian journalist Andriy Tsaplienko claimed. Last weekend's Russian attack on Makhnovka may have been even costlier and less successful. Not only is Makhnovka still in the gray zone between Ukrainian and Russian control, there is some evidence that Ukrainian troops, possibly from the 61st Mechanized Brigade, 36 separate rifle battalion, or attached territorial brigades, actually advanced a short distance around the same time as many as 400 Russians lay dead or wounded on the same terrain. The heavy casualties on the Russian and North Korean side is beginning to weigh on the 2-month-old Russian-led counteroffensive in Kursk. In Kursk Oblast, combat operations have intensified to the maximum level, forcing the Russian grouping there to expend all available resources, the Ukrainian Center for Defense Strategies reported. This comes at an extremely inconvenient and disadvantageous time for them, the group added. If intensive fighting continues for another 5 to 10 days, the Russian grouping will need to be rapidly replenished, as it is already suffering significant losses in counter-battles. This replenishment can only be achieved by redeploying forces from other sections of the front.